we need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. It's the show where we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to get the comedians in here. My man, Mr. Howie Bell, is in the building. Howie Bell, what's happening, bro?
What's happening, brother? What's happening, brother? You know what it is, man. It's a Championship Tuesday, brother. That's what it is, man. What's happening, Frank? What's good with you, brother?
Michigan all up there. I see you. My man, Mr. Damian Jones in the building. D. Jones, how you doing, sir?
Hail to the victors!
Yeah.
The champions of the world! The champions of the world!
That's all you need to know.
Brett needs to win more often, that's for sure. Rodney Perry's there somewhere. Rodney Perry, you there? Rodney Perry, you there? There you go.
Rodney Perry!
And let me introduce
Jason
Hayes in the building. Jay, how you doing, sir?
JD Hayes!
What's happening? Hey, it's turn. Turn it up.
Champions of the world. Yeah.
I might put some on Ramil Robinson books now.
Yeah, right.
That's low. Ramil Robinson will say that ain't right. Oh man, we got a show for you all in store today, man. Before we jump into obviously the championship game between Michigan and UConn, I gotta first talk about the statement that got released today. Howie Bell. So Howie Bell, you're gonna go up first, man. Howie, I'm gonna put you right here like I always do. Howie Bell, Dawn Staley released a statement today, says she has spoken to UConn's Gino Auriemma and suggested that everyone turn the page after their mid-court argument in the Final Four. She said, quote unquote, I spoke with Gino and I want to be clear. I have a great deal of respect for him and what he's meant to the game. One moment doesn't define a career and it doesn't change the impact that he's had growing women's basketball. The standard of UConn is what it is because of him, and it's something this game has benefited from. So I'm asking for everyone to turn the page. Let's focus on what matters most, continuing to elevate the game, creating opportunities for pushing it forward. That's always been my mission, and it's not changing. When you hear that, Howie Bell, coming from Dawn Staley, what's your take on this, bro? Because, you know, we were sitting there like, this is one of the most disrespectful things that happened to a black woman in front of sports media in a long time, Howie. Yeah. Now you hear that coming from her. What's your take?
That was called staunch professionalism, brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She took the high road, man. Mm-hmm. And kudos to her for that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how you keep it sports. That's how you keep professional. You stay within the realm. She didn't have to escalate and go. People saw what they saw. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she did what you were supposed to do, release a statement and say, hey, it's all good. That was like in the hood. Hey, man, it's all good. Don't worry about it. That was just, that's all she just basically said.
I agree with that too. D. Jones, when you hear that, are you surprised that she didn't, you know, that she even spoke to him? And what's your thoughts after you hear the statement?
First of all, let me get this out the way. I'm tired of Rodney Perry always coming on here out-hatting me every time he come on. Always out-hatting me, man. First of all, class act by Dawn Staley. These are two gentlemen who can coach their butt off. Two great coaches. And listen, she's one of the best. He's definitely in that Mount Rushmore of female basketball coaches. And both these guys, you know, show each other respect. And I think it was a great thing for them both, man. It was great. Class act. That's all I can say.
Rodney Perry, are you surprised as a black woman that she came forward and said what she said and stood, you know, the high ground?
No, not at all, man. I mean, I'm glad you posed this question to me, Frank. And as I think about it, I can't help but think of what Dawn Staley means to the LGBTQ community. And this women's basketball has been a pipeline to the LGBTQ community for a long time. And so you got to look for, you know, you don't want to cut yourself off from keep getting chicks. And so I think Dawn, you know, is about that life, and great coach, and anybody that's helping with women's basketball in any shape or form, I've been to the games, man. I seen the ladies having a good time, and it's what it's all about.
Okay. I didn't know she was. I didn't know she swung that way. But thank you for that update. All right.
I don't know what she does. I have no idea.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let me ask filmmaker Jason Hayes.
I believe her and the Brad are like real close.
Oh. Wow, that's low.
I mean, he said, she about that life. I thought the same thing. I thought you knew something.
Hey, Rodney Perry, I can say this as a person who lived in Philadelphia, for like 6 years, and me and Dawn overlapped. And I was at Dave and Buster's one night, like down Delaware Avenue, me and my wife. Dawn was on a date down there. And I can assure you that none of the genitalia present today was on her date.
Is that right?
Correct. So trust your intuition, Playboy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just saying it's big. This is big for the LGBTQ.
Correct. Right. And and that leads me, to my takeaway on this. My takeaway is this: why do we, meaning everybody that's not a white man, always got to turn down the temperature on something that a white man did?
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? He did that. He could have turned down the temperature. He had the first apology chance to do it. He had that night to do it before the apology was issued that day, and before the second apology went out. He could have turned down. He didn't. So now, why does Dawn have to come in to turn down the temperature of the sentiments going towards him that he deserves, so that he can function as a head coach at UConn? Why is it always on everybody else to appease these dudes who behave in the most egregious way possible?
Wow.
See, that's what I'm tired of, bro. And if you follow me on social media, Frank, you probably saw this. I posted this yesterday. It said the word of the day in word porn. It said that the word today is dictum.
Oh, wow.
Dictum, D-I-C-K-T-I-M. Definition: you behave like a dick, and now you're the victim.
Well, I thought that's what you did when you actually dicked them down.
No, not dick them down.
A dick
That's E-M, not I-M.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what she does.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen. Oh, I'm certain of this.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing though to that though? I don't think it was more of her doing that because he was white. I think it was more of her doing it purely because on professionalism. I don't think it was her mentality like, you know what, let me do this because I'm this black woman and I might as well take the high road and show everybody
that's not what he's saying though.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not what he's saying.
I'm saying the fact that he's a white male who behaves. No. What I'm saying is he's a white dude who behaves the way white men tend to do, and they never apologize for their behavior. And when things start spiraling and start escalating, and people start getting involved, when he could have de-escalated, they don't. And so now she has to step in to de-escalate a situation that he created. I'm tired of that.
Well, I guess my thing is you can't blame her for him not doing that.
I'm not blaming her for anything. What I'm saying is, why must everybody else always clean up the mess that these people keep making for themselves? I'm not responsible for you.
Right.
And you know what, Jay, I say this, is that it's not confined to white males. White females are guilty of this as well.
No question.
Yeah.
No question.
All right, one more story before we talk about Michigan, because we got to talk about Michigan. But I don't know if you guys saw this story, Howie. I don't know if you saw it either, but Shaquille O'Neal hooked up with Authentic Brands Group and Warner's TNT Sports, and they're launching something called Dunkman. And it's the first professional league tied to dunking that's launching this summer. It's going to feature 24 skilled dunkers competing live across 4 events. The finals will compete for a world championship title and a grand prize of $500,000.
Wow. That's gonna kill on social media, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna destroy. What's your take on this, Howie?
I saw it and I thought it was brilliant. Because I saw it, I guess like everybody else saw it during the halftime, during the game, or whenever that was when he advertised it, and I was like, wow. I was like, that trailer. I mean, it was just, hey man, listen, let me tell you something. That was genius. You know what I'm saying? That was genius. And for him to be able to offer a $500,000, a $500,000 purse, that lets you know how much money potentially that they're going to make
What?
off of this.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Shaquille O'Neal found another bag. And man, that's ridiculous. I thought it was brilliant.
But how it shouldn't be underlined to say most people would do a dunk contest, but ain't nobody doing a dunk contest with a reward for $500,000. You know what I mean?
And it's like a
Nobody.
league. It's a
Not even
league.
NBA.
Yeah,
Not
I know.
even NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, this is groundbreaking, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're gonna have some of the best dunkers you can see and you can name.
Yep.
500,000. We getting ready to see some amazing shit.
Somebody start stretching.
Yeah.
Get my shit
Damian
together.
Jones, when you hear about this league, man, and you hear about the prize money, what are the thoughts that cross your head? Because to me, the first thing that across my mind, they're gonna people who are gonna dunk from all over the world are gonna try to compete for this.
Absolutely.
500,000.
Yep.
Is it open to the public?
Yep.
I've been working out. I went to the gym today. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I worked on legs. So I wonder if I can sign up, you know what I'm saying? And anything Shaq touches, though, he know how to make money. He got great advisors around him, one, and he know how to make money. The boy in everything, man. If you go outside, he probably owns some of that. So whatever whatever Shaq doing, and potentially is going to take over the All-Star game. I bet you.
Yeah, I bet so too.
It's going to take over the All-Star weekend.
I bet so too.
And I think they've been doing this dunk competition thing for a while. Shaq wasn't just involved though, but now with his involvement, man, listen, I'm about to go get on some Reebok pumps.
Rodney Perry, the crazy part about this, Rodney, is honestly, I think Shaq is going to get a whole bunch of people from YouTube and put them all together and sign them up. That's the first thing I thought of. What do you think of, Rodney, when you hear this?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, when you think of the dunk contest, it's reserved for NBA players. So when they open this up to the world, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah.
You talking about amateur players, people with crazy hops, and they are out there. You know, really short guys that can get up like that. They're out there, but they can't do nothing else. I mean, this is the thing, man. I think it's gonna be overkill. It's gonna be too much dunks, you know. And we all like to see the excitement of the dunk. But when you got a little 5'2" dude flying through the air, you gonna be like, he's just like an Ant-Man. He just like them guys on the trampolines. It's like, I don't know if it's gonna catch on, to be honest.
Okay, so I don't agree with that take, Jason, because the reason why I look at it like this, because these dudes on YouTube are very creative when they dunk. They very creative. I've seen a lot of dunk that I wish I could see in the NBA dunk contest. That's what I think. Jay, do you agree with Rodney? Where are you at with this dunk man league?
Man, dunking is never not exciting.
Yeah,
like people live for that.
NBA.
I mean, like in college, high school, you name it. When they go up to dunk, the crowd says what? Whoosh.
Yeah.
Like everybody waiting for that dunk to happen. So for me, I mentioned this on the show. I was like, if the NBA wanted to fix the dunk contest, make it to where you got to be on an NBA roster to be a dunker. If you want to entertain the fans with the best dunks, then you bring in professional dunkers to entertain the fans. Because I guarantee you the fans don't care if they wear NBA logo or not if the dunk is dope. So to me, to limit it only to NBA players when you see that it's dying off and there's no fan interest in it is an antiquated concept that just need to get rid of it and just bring in the best dunkers and then let the players do everything else that the players can do.
I think he hit the nail on the head with that one, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's, we want the excitement. So,
and Frank, this is going to probably force the NBA to do that.
Correct.
To be honest, they're going to change. This is no way that Shaq can launch this and they keep the same dunk format they keep next year for the All-Star game. No way.
But Howie, also, with Shaq being involved, that kind of gives them like a backdoor way of saying, well, Shaq's associated with us.
Yeah.
And they're associated with Shaq, so they can kind of backdoor it in because there's NBA ties somehow.
The word I would use is bridge. I wouldn't even say backdoor. I think it'd be a bridge to it, but
Are we gonna pause that a little bit?
Bridge?
No, backdoor. Pause.
All right,
Yeah.
Howie, now it's your time. Howie, now it's your turn, man. We got to talk about the Michigan Wolverines defeating the UConn Huskies in the national championship game. We got to talk about that. But Howie, before we even say this, man, I got to say, I think Michigan, two things I want to say, Howie. Michigan created history to me because what they did was so dominant, and they did it with 5 transfers. 5 transfers in
Starters,
this NIL and this new NIL, territory. I think that's amazing. When you sit back, Howie, yeah, you're a fan of Michigan, but what was the most amazing thing to you, Howie, bro?
The most amazing thing to me was the whole run in the tournament in its totality, and the way they were beating people. They were averaging, like I think I talked about this on another show. They were averaging like 20 points, a margin of victory. Last night was the only time they didn't do that. Because UConn's a really good team, and they fought really tough, and they tried to force Michigan to play their way. So the thing that impressed me the most though is Michigan only made 2 3-pointers in the whole game, man.
Yeah.
2.
That last one was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Both of them were huge, to be honest. And the last one was super huge. But that was crazy. How Michigan was missing all those threes. And then UConn turned around, and in the second half, they started missing all those threes. That was wild. But that the most amazing thing is they found a way to get it done without the 3. And that shows you, man, that you don't need the 3 to win. That when they start going on the inside and they start going in the paint. Yeah, thank you. When they start going in the paint, they start doing, man, I'm telling you, man, fundamentals and great coaching, man, has got them there. And all those superstar players that they pulled in for the NIL, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Those boys still had to be coached. You still have to be coached. I don't care if you're making money now, because basically what the guys, our guy said the other day, that the basketball, NCAA is basically a professional league now. It's professional sports now because of that. So but these guys can be coached. And we saw it last night. And shouts out to Michigan. The city of Detroit, man, is on fire today. Everybody is having fun. I tried to go get me a hat to wear for the show today, but they sold out that quick. So it's amazing, man, what's going on right here. We needed that. We needed that victory. And the Pistons have the number 1 seed. I want to reiterate that. And we're on our way probably to the finals.
Okay. Damian Jones, what was the most thing that excited you? All right,
That's the great Charles Woodson right there. Listen, it was a riveting game. Okay,
Riveting.
It was exciting, high scoring, great offensive game that we watched last night. And hey, man, it's some white girls doing some things in Ann Arbor right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Ann Arbor is wild, still going wild. The Fab Five went back to Ann Arbor. That's how wild it got. Yeah. And hey, man, they Dusty May did a great job with coaching. They beat a great UConn team. I think Hurley's one of the best college coaches there is. It was just, let me be real, the game was boring, okay? But we won, and that's all that matters. Shout out to U of M. Go Blue, go Pistons, go Tigers, go Red Wings, and even go Howie's team.
You can't say Lions?
Yeah, you can't.
No.
Wow. Ain't that a
and then take what you can get.
Right. The game was amazing. Obviously the game was amazing, and I would ask you what was the most. But let me switch it up and ask you this, Howie. The game looked like a game that we saw from that you watched from the 80s, because that game was in the paint the whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The game was in the paint. I like that. I like that kind of game. What was the thing that amazed you, Howie? How Michigan won?
You talking to Howie or me?
Howie or Rodney?
I meant Rodney. I'm sorry.
You know what? I mean, the standout thing to me, Frank, is the fact that Howie Bell's palms are also dark skinned, and and as he was giving us his take, I was like, wow, his palms are dark skinned too. And as a dark skinned man, that's impressive. Go Blue.
You don't want to elaborate some more of the game, Rodney?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch the game. I was not concerned about Michigan or anything in the Detroit area. Um, I was actually, as I thought about Michigan, I said to myself, Toledo is a nice place,
Oh
and
my God.
Said nobody.
so, but here's something I did hear that the girls in Detroit are finer than the girls in Cleveland, which is an absolute fact.
Okay, Jay. Hey, when you look at this spread, when you see the game, because I know you saw the game, what was your takeaway? What was your immediate takeaways from the game?
I mean, it was definitely a game for people who love basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't pretty. I mean, like it was a really ugly game offensively. But if you appreciate the game, you understand why it was so ugly because they were playing crazy defense on both ends. I mean, they made everything hard. There was nothing that was clean.
Everything,
Nothing that was clean.
everything was hard.
Just grinding it out. Pause. Like play in and play out. But when I was watching the game, like I was shocked that it was kind of close, but I wasn't shocked. But I just felt like Michigan was so much better than them. And that, I mean, physically imposing, that at some point Michigan's size, pause, would like kind of take over the game, wear them down, and they separate, later on in the second half, and that's really what happened. But it was a hard-nosed game, some young kids in a building with 70,000 people, man, just making big shots. And man, I mean, to me, I mean, as ugly as it was, it's one of the most exciting games I've watched in a long time.
I'm throwing this question out there for anybody to answer, and in no particular order. Was anybody amazed at UConn's coaching last night? Because I didn't care who won, but I gotta say UConn was in that game last night. You know what I mean? And if UConn hits a couple of different shots, we having a different conversation today. You know what I mean? Anybody amazed at that coaching? That coaching that Dan Hurley did last night? Anybody?
No, he's a good coach. What would you be amazed at?
Honestly, I thought Michigan going into it. I thought Michigan was gonna blow them out by 30. Honestly, I
never thought that.
Nobody wants to see a 30 for the championship. Nobody wants to see a blowout. But here goes. We said this yesterday. Michigan was the better team. They proved a better team. Whether you win by 1 or 50, you still won. And shouts out to Michigan. I mean, at the end of the day, the game was closer than some of us thought. But I mean, we knew UConn would show up. We knew they would show up.
I mean, but that kept people in the game. That kept it exciting. It kept me excited about it because as good, as much of a defensive game that it was, like Jay said, it was exciting because you was like, okay, who gonna get the next shot? Oh, he stole it, and then without that, there was a lot of things going on in that game. You know what I'm saying? Other than just making baskets, and it was entertaining to me. I thought it was good. Obviously, my team won, so I was happy. But I was entertained. I was a little nervous too. It got close. I think UConn took the lead at one time. They was up by a point or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like 4 at one point.
At one point, yeah. So it was, it was there. You know what I'm saying? They had their chances. UConn had their chances.
You went to HBCU, Howie Bell. So like, why do you care?
Because I'm from Detroit. Why do you care?
I don't.
Here's another question.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's why I care.
Here's another question for the pool. Mike Malone gets hired yesterday, and they're talking about a lot of this NIL money situation. Do you think Mike Malone now is going to? Because one thing I learned the last 48 hours, which I didn't really realize, is that these coaches now are dangling a lot of NIL money to get people to come over, which I didn't realize it was that bad.
Sure, it ain't coaches; it's universities.
Yeah, exactly. So
the alumni.
Mike Malone gets hired. And I think he's going to probably pull in a lot of people, too, because he got an NBA resume. Anybody want to jump in on that one?
I wanted to see Jerry Stackhouse get a chance. I wanted to see Jerry Stackhouse get a chance. But what you're talking about is UNC. They going to get – Michael Jordan went there. So if they want to put all the money in the world to get some players, they can do it.
All right. Okay. All right.
And it ain't just Michael Jordan that went there, man. You gotta understand, like Carolina
James
is a
Worthy,
really well
so
endowed
many
school,
great players.
man. Pause.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well
they
endowed.
got a lot of bread,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they
and they're
deep.
not gonna
They deep.
tolerate losing.
Mhm.
They got a
And
lot of
so
people though. They got Kenny
it,
Smith. They got Rasheed Wallace. They got. I mean, they
those
got a
are
lot of alumni
athletes.
from the
I'm talking
from the
about people that
alumni.
graduated from there, though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
come from old Southern money. You
Yeah.
know, they got ties there, right? So right now, the way the college game is working is the bigger schools. Not only, do they have NIL collectives? You know, which is what they have. You know, they have NIL collectives. You know, that raise money to give. You know, the richest one I think is Texas right now. Texas allocates $60 million a year for NIL spending just for athletes from the collective.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so Carolina is somewhere in there around $35 million a year, something like that. So not only do they have head coaches and ADs, athletic directors, they also have general managers now. Florida State just hired a general manager to manage contracts, you know, and manage the money, you know, who comes in and who doesn't. It's almost like professional sports now.
Do you guys realize how bad this is getting, man? Because you know, soon it's going to be the rich schools versus poor schools. You know,
There
It was
you go.
always that.
yeah, but everybody had a shot, though. You know what I mean?
No,
Now,
they didn't.
yeah, I think so. I think it was a little bit more.
They
fair
got
than
paid
this.
years ago, Frank.
No, I
Trust
know
me on
that, but
this.
I mean,
you know,
it
hey,
just
you
was
all know
illegal at
They've been
first.
getting paid.
It was illegal, but somebody was smoking the weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
All
was
right,
getting paid.
Howard, let me get back to the situation. You know how we got to always do. Hold on, let me get this. Bam, and where's Howie at up here? Howie, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but the Chicago Sky ended up making a trade for the WNBA.
ATL, shouty.
Yeah, for Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream for the 2027 first round pick and 2028 first round pick. And I think a lot of stuff happened, Howard, because of what's happening with the new WNBA, you know, agreement and everything else. You know what I mean? Because the WNBA and the ownership was able to do this. So, and they obviously raised, you know, the pricing, the contracts. You know, the players can make some money now. You know, the cap raised and everything else. So people are making moves.
Yeah.
Is this exciting now? Move that you hear, Rodney? I mean, Howie Bell. Is this exciting to you, Howie, that you see that this trade happening to shake up the WNBA?
I think so. I think it is. You know, why not? You know what I'm saying? And I think that Atlanta is an exciting city. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get behind her and it's going to be a little more hype. You know, Chicago is exciting too. But I think Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, you know, on that next level, I think they're going to be rally around it and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to see what else happens. Yeah, it's good, man.
Okay.
Good with the WNBA. Yeah.
Yeah, D. Jones. You know, the excitement of the WNBA look like it's happening. Do you think this is going to resonate throughout the entire league?
Oh yes, exciting! Can't you hear it in my voice? I'm so excited
Wow.
about the WNBA and the trades that's going forth. And yay, Angela Reese is in Atlanta now. We'll go to Atlanta to watch Angela Reese.
Angel.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's how excited I am.
Wow.
I don't even know her name.
One of
Wow.
the Reeses. Angel and Angela. I'm watching both of them in Atlanta.
Rodney Perry, you in Atlanta. What's the excitement like with Angel Reese?
Hey man, it's palpable. It's real, man. And I get the idea. You know, I don't care about nothing about women's sports, to be honest. But I will say this: Angel Reese, when she came into the league, she came with lackluster fanfare. She came with Chicago, and she didn't. They didn't even welcome her the way they should have. She's gonna get the welcome she deserves when she comes to Atlanta, though.
I
Rest
think so too.
assured.
I agree
She's
with
gonna
Brian.
get the welcome she deserved, and guess what? I'm gonna see at Magic City, and she might be working.
Damn.
Angel Reese is fine.
Right. Jason, can I get the disclaimer, please?
The
Not
views
every day.
expressed on box seats by contestants are purely those of themselves and
Rodney
not
is tripping again. Yeah.
and not the views of Box Seats International Limited LTD, whatever it is.
LTD.
That's Rodney Perry talking for Rodney Perry.
He didn't say nothing wrong.
Jay,
He didn't say nothing wrong.
Jay, now give me your thoughts on how you think that this shakes up the WNBA.
I don't think it shakes anything up, but I just think it's a great business move for all the reasons that everybody already said. Like, Chicago's a cool place, man, but they ain't really gonna be excited about WNBA basketball. And you know, and you're talking about a black woman who's high profile, so they really ain't gonna get behind that the way they need to either. But Atlanta will. You know what I'm saying? And like Rodney, listen, if Angel want to get them dollars up to offset her poorest WNBA salary, there's a place she can do that.
Yeah.
And she already got a stage name. Her government is Angel.
Come to the stage, Angel.
We never gonna get canceled, but
if you ask me, dog, I mean, this is God divining this. It's sending her to a place where everything about her is a benefit to that city, and that city benefits her. I'm not saying she got to do that. I'm just saying it's on the table, man. We can have an Angel Reese Wayne night. And she can walk on the stage wearing angel wings, you know, serving up sauce. And she ain't got to do nothing except just walk around. That's it. I'm telling you, dog.
That's good play. Howie Bell, next, since we talk about Chicago, I don't know if you saw the news, but Chicago Bulls cleaned house. Like, they ain't playing. Like, Chicago Bulls fired basketball operations, Arturas Karnanovius. I don't even know how to pronounce his name right. GM Mark Eversley in the front office. And because Chicago is 29-49 with 4 games remaining, and you know they're headed for their 4th straight losing season. Howie Bell, talk to me about Chicago Bulls cleaning house.
Yeah, the Bulls, man. You know, shout out to all my Chicago people. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all. But, you know, Chicago, man, they was our nemesis for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. But I tell you this, man. At some point, you do got to clean house. You know, you got to rebuild, you know, and do all that stuff. But it don't take long to rebuild these days. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't going to take a lot of seasons. They probably, I don't know what's been happening over the last 4 to make them decline like this. It could be injuries. It could be, you know, it could be a lot of stuff. You know, front office stuff, management. I'm not sure, but you know, hey man, sometimes you got to wipe the board clean and say let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and if that's what it takes, maybe they get a new coach too. You know, I'm not sure about that part of it. You know,
they ain't doing that.
Yeah, well, you know, so if they're not gonna do that, then they're not really cleaning the house to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But Damian Jones, let me just say this, man. The Chicago Bulls have had a lot of injuries lately. You know what I mean? They had a lot of injuries. A lot of players get injured, and then they cleaned house upstairs. And then I think they cleaned up. They got rid of Vucevic. They got rid of a couple players too. So, what's your take on Chicago Bulls cleaning house, Damian Jones?
They traded their best player to Detroit. Fun fact. Let me say this before I go in. Collectively, Illinois, Chicago, and Illinois has the greatest group of comedians ever. Okay? Ever. With that said, I don't give a piss about the Bulls, the Bears, the dirty ass Cubs, the dirty Sox. None of that. Okay? They women look like mechanics. And if you a Chicago Bulls fan, so what? This Detroit versus everybody.
You said that women look like mechanics.
I gotta disagree with you. They women don't look like
except for Howie.
They got some bad women now.
Yeah, Howie got the prettiest woman I ever seen from Chicago. Okay, I will leave it at that.
Rodney Perry, I don't know how you follow that up, Rodney, but please do.
I mean, first of all, I just dated a mechanic in Chicago, and she did a great job on my alternator. She has rough hands, but so what? You know what I mean?
Strong hands.
But here goes. The league is top heavy. So if you got 20 good teams, you're gonna have 20 bad teams. And Chicago is one of them right now. But I watched them. I watched them this week. And how about this? They got some good young guys, and you don't want to put those guys in bad hands going forward. So as you look going forward, you change the upper management. That is a source of a lot of they woes right now. So you start over there, and you'll have a place for those young guys to make a home, man. So keep watching for the next few years, and look for Chicago to get better and better fast, like somebody said earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Jay, what's your final take on this?
Yeah, I mean, their head coach is Billy Donovan, and ain't nobody gonna tell you Billy Donovan's a bad coach.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a proven winner on the college level and the NBA level. So the issue is not the chef if the chef don't buy the groceries. You know what I'm saying? The chef can only cook what you bring into the kitchen. So for them, to clean out the senior VP and the general manager means that they were very unhappy, with some contracts that they gave them, for some players they gave them, and they don't think that these guys are good at evaluating, and they want to bring somebody else in because we ain't got to question if Billy Donovan can coach. We know that he can. So if they're not being successful, the problem's probably not going to be Billy Donovan. So let's try something different first, above him, and then see what it looks like, in a year or two. And if they're still not winning, then Billy be out there too.
Yeah.
Jay, I got a question. Do you think it was the Jaden Ivey trade? Because they let him go and had to pay him.
It could have been, man, but I mean, yeah, I mean, they definitely gave up a really good player for a player that was mid. You know what I'm saying? And controversial. So I'm sure. I mean, it's never one thing. It's always a bunch of things that just accumulated, and and that's just the last straw.
Yeah, that definitely was one of the
If you
last.
got all hearts and diamonds, you can't run a Boston.
Damn, hell no.
Howie Bell, this leads me to one of my other interesting points I saw today, again, because I was watching the NBA last night. San Antonio superstar Victor Wembanyama ended up leaving Monday night's win over the Philadelphia 76ers after suffering what the team has termed as a left rib contusion in the first half. Howie, are you concerned about the San Antonio Spurs moving forward? Because this is, to me, one of the absolute worst times to get injured, as a lot of people got San Antonio Spurs making it to the finals. You know what I mean? A lot of people do. Without Victor Wembanyama, I don't. It depends. What's your take on this, Howie Bell?
There's a lot to unpack on this, man, and I can't do it all in my little time. But I'll say this: it depends on how bad this is. Now, if it's just a bruise, you know what I'm saying, or something like that to his ribs, right? If it's just a bruise, that's fine. But if he got like some shit and they trying to hide in some old cracked rib shit or fractured rib, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because with the ribs, you can't breathe the same too.
Right.
So that ribs,
Very
that's
painful.
a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? With that rib injury is deep. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how bad it is. If it's on the not so bad side, I think they'll be okay. If it is bad, that's going to be because he's reaching up all the time. They right there at his rib cage. You know what I'm saying? The defenders are right there. He's so tall. You know what I'm saying? So,
And they 7 feet.
yeah. So that could be a potential issue, though. You know what I'm saying? To come. So we'll have to see.
And let me ask Damian Jones what his thoughts are, because San Antonio is literally one of those teams that could definitely go to the finals, man. What you think, D. Jones?
If I had bet on them, this probably happened because of that. And I think I bet on them to make it to the finals. So this probably what happened.
Damn.
It's your fault.
Season over with.
It's my fault. But I would say this. It was weird because when he went down, he grabbed his shoulder. He didn't grab nowhere near his ribs. He went like this. But I don't know. He's super, super skinny. This is gonna happen every year unless he puts some muscle on his frame. Hopefully I ain't got to pause none of that. He pause, he light ass. And unless he gets some muscle, this is gonna happen every year, especially when he go up against Joker. He went up against Embiid last night, and Embiid don't even play that much. So he just gonna have to get some muscle, bro. He too small.
Rodney Perry, how are you looking at this, man? Because San Antonio's supposed to go to the finals.
Well, Victor Wembanyama is on record this year talking about how dope he is, and he need to be there. People need to stand up and notice him. I think he jinxed himself. Talking all that trash, and then somebody said, "Until you get a championship, you need to shut up, young fella." And he need to shut up until he get a chip, because if you don't have a chip, you gotta go sit down somewhere. And so now he's headed to the seat to sit down. And I'm sorry that's happened to Victor, man. I think he's definitely the future of the league. But again, man, nobody like ribs without no meat on them.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that, Rodney Perry. Jay, where your thoughts at about Victor Wembanyama getting injured, bro? Especially with San Antonio on this amazing run.
I mean, these young boys, man, they getting all types of crazy injuries to me. You know what I mean? You know, like he got a rib injury. You know, Cade got collapsed lungs. Man, listen, they all live in places where people eat. Okay, get this boy a ham hock sandwich and put him on that Southern diet to at least put like 15 good solid pounds on him because he's a rail right now. You know, to piggyback, what D Jones said to me, it's always going to be an issue as long as he's that thin, especially against a dude physical like Embiid, who's like 300 and something pounds, 7'1" himself. Like he's going to get punished in the post like that. So for the season, I think he'll be okay. I mean, ribs heal pretty quickly, to be honest, if it's not serious. So
you got to smoke
him. Yeah, they'll rest him up, for these last like few days or whatever. And they might even rest him, play him lightly in the first round because they'll probably get a good draw in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, he'll be good for the stretch run.
Well said. Howie Bell, I got to bring up this next topic, man, because I saw it on actually I saw it on and played in the background today about 4 shows back to back because I keep the TV on while I'm doing everything else. This Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know I didn't say his name right. I butchered his name.
You was real close though. You was right there.
Yeah,
Antetokounmpo.
Whatever what he said. Giannis is the topic of everybody's conversation, bro, because it looks like it's going to be an ugly divorce with the Milwaukee Bucks. Howie Bell, talk to me about the temperature that you think is going on with Milwaukee and Giannis, and where you think Giannis is going to end up landing, or he's going to force his way out to.
They've been in a bad relationship for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody's seen it. They've been arguing publicly. Then they come back, like a real relationship. Oh, no, everything's fine. And then they'll come back and, see we hear about they had a fight in the bathroom at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? This been going on. It's been brewing for a while. So, the Bucks, man, they need to start over too, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago. But that's probably what they're going to do. They can get rid of Giannis, and I think they're going to try to get the most that they can get out of him. I don't know his physical condition right now, but you know what I'm saying.
He's healthy. He's healthy.
Is he all the way healthy now?
He's saying he's healthy.
Yeah,
he's saying he's healthy. The team is saying he's not. All that kind of stuff. So at that, but where will he go? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go to the West if I was him. You know what I'm saying? He probably would be sweet, and I hate to say this, if he went to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would probably make them, right there, to get a chip.
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than the Knicks, I don't really know where else he could go to fit. You know what I'm saying? To make it, other than the Knicks, to me is he could go anywhere. But maybe he could go to Houston. But that's the West. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, Damian Jones. There's a situation going on in Milwaukee. Milwaukee and Giannis are having issues. What are you thinking about this Giannis and Milwaukee situation, and where you think he's going to land?
Hey, I still think Giannis top 5 in the league. It's time to go for Milwaukee. It's not rare. It's rare that the best player of a franchise stayed there nowadays. So he might go. My sources say the Clippers.
Your sources?
His sources.
My sources say the Clippers, Golden State, or the GM over there in LA might trade Austin Reeves and some picks. Because you know how that GM work. If he don't like you, you got to go. If LeBron say it's time to go, Austin Reeves, it's time to go.
Okay, so you think?
But they got 2 centers too. Do they need to keep 2?
They don't have 2 centers.
He said poo poo poo.
Them boys suck over there. They suck. No pause.
Rodney Perry, where you think he's gonna go? And what's your thoughts on the situation going down in Milwaukee?
I mean, I think the Knicks is a great call. I think ending up at the Knicks would be a great place. I definitely would stay on the East Coast, maybe Orlando. How about this new front office in Chicago? You know, with the legacy of Mr. Michael Jordan, you might go to Chicago and be the new face of that franchise. I wouldn't be surprised that could be. It's in the same general area of the country. You ain't gotta really move. You ain't gotta change houses or nothing. You really could keep living in Milwaukee if you want to.
He really could.
And so, I mean, Giannis has done. He's done all he can in Milwaukee, man. He did great for them guys, great for the Bucks, and he put they face on the map. Man, let that man go.
To a team that's one player away to help them win an NBA championship.
I mean, who's one player away?
A couple people.
He can help.
You could argue that the Knicks are one player away. You could argue the Clippers are one player away. You could.
But the Knicks is they marquee enough, for him. Like he can't just go anywhere. He just because you one player away, he can't go to the Pelicans. He can't go. That's a kiss your career goodbye.
Well, the Knicks got one of the largest.
What if I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What if he went to one of these new expansion teams that's about to come?
But that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen soon enough for this.
No,
that's 5 years away.
Or it's at least 2 years away. Jason, talk to me, bro. What's your thoughts on this situation with Giannis and where you think he's gonna land?
It's like the fat family that's been at the Chinese buffet for 2 hours. It's time to go.
Time to go.
Time to go. Right? Like he's overstayed his welcome, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like if he stays, it's just going to be lateral at best. And you already see the regression because the Bucks ain't never going to spend money like that, to really, really win. You know what I'm saying? To keep going after championships like that. So Giannis wants to win. Now he's 31 years old. So his window, like, don't evaluate people by LeBron. Giannis ain't got 12 more years like that.
Mm-hmm.
He probably got 5, 6 because, like now he's starting to get dinged more and more every season. So that's only going to escalate, every birthday. So I think ideally he needs to go someplace with a committed to winning. For me, selfishly, Miami Heat makes sense for me.
Wow.
But I don't think that the Bucks want to trade him in conference.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to send him out, somewhere west. And since it's ending badly, unlike what Rodney or maybe Howie said, he may go to the Pelicans. They may trade him for Zion Williamson or somebody like that just to be petty with it. He's out of conference, and they got petty with him to send him someplace, where he really has no chance at winning. But I don't think they're going to trade him, to an Eastern Conference team because they don't want to see that dude.
See, I just want to say one thing, Jay. I love what you said because it makes sense. But I thought you were going to say OKC because they got a ton of draft picks. You know what I mean? And Milwaukee wants to build. You know what I mean? And I think he wants to win now. I don't think he should go to OKC, but I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned.
OKC has the best record in the NBA.
They don't need him.
They don't need him.
No, they don't.
They don't need him
at all. But
why give up anything?
Yeah, that's true too. But they do got a lot of draft picks. That brings me up.
And they got a 7-footer down there too.
Yeah, they do. But here's the issue that OKC is going to have very, very soon. Being able to pay all these people because they coming up this season and next season, they're going to have to stop paying a lot of people. So they won't be able to keep everybody. So that's the issue that I'm thinking about.
They already paid their big three, though. They already paid Chet. They already paid Shea. And they already paid the guard with the Braves.
Yeah.
Williams. They already paid those three.
Right.
They ain't paid Dorf. Dorf got to get paid.
He gonna hit the market.
Yeah. There's a couple people gonna have to get paid too. Howie Bell, this brings me up to this an NFL situation, bro, that I want to bring in. And I was gonna talk about the New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence in a second, but I gotta talk about something that kind of flew under the radar a little bit, Howie Bell. And that was because Lamar Jackson attended the Baltimore Ravens offseason workout program for the first time, Lord knows since when. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, that's really interesting. And then somebody said something on First Take or the show before or Get Up that Lamar Jackson had a hand in their head coach getting out of there And I was like, that makes sense. Their head coach gets out of there, and now Lamar Jackson is ended up at the offseason workout. I'm sitting here saying, wow, what's your take on this?
That's really interesting, Frank.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching ESPN. I saw him running, doing like, whatever run sprints or something, whatever he was doing. I was like, really? It kind of threw me off a little bit because you never see him doing that.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. And so now that you brought that up, it gave me time to think about it. Now I'm like, you know what? Dude is trying to win, bro.
Yeah.
He is trying to win, and he's good enough to do it too.
Well, how?
I'm getting ready to answer about the coaching and the fact that he is doing this now because he's got a new coach lets you know what was going on between him and the last.
Exactly.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play for that man. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so now he's like, all right, let's go. That guy is good, man. And I'm telling you, this is going to be an interesting NFL, football season coming up because there's a lot of people that need to do it, especially in the AFC. It's so many people that need to do it because they've been so long, from Burrows to Lamar to your guy from the Bills, whose name?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people that need to do it. People want to see them do it. That's been trying to do it for so long, but it's hard because of course, Patrick Mahomes is there. So and and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. But I think he's coming. I think Baltimore Ravens are coming, and it's good to see him in the workouts, man. Good to see it.
Damian Jones, when you hear that there's a situation going on with the Baltimore Ravens, whereas their head coach literally got Lamar Jackson to attend the offseason program, and their former head coach did not. What's your take on this?
I think you got to get on the same page. You got a brand new coach. You got a brand new. I think they said the offensive coordinator is 29 years old, so he better get in there. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm gonna speak for everybody. We all want to see the brother win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Not just the regular black guy, a brother. You hear me?
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We root for him to win. Now, I hate that he in the AFC and he not gonna win, but hopefully he go to Minnesota and get him a chip because I want to see Lamar win. I think Lamar is a beast. He needs to get out the AFC and go to the NFC. It's an easier road to get to the championship, and he's not gonna finish with Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think so?
That's
Nobody finishes with that
That's
team.
what they said today. They literally said that today. They don't think he's gonna finish with Baltimore. Rodney Perry, what's your take on this whole situation, bro? Because it's very interesting.
Man, I've been watching this guy intensely for the past 5-6 years. I had him on fantasy probably 4 years in a row, and to see him come to these early practices is a great sign. I think he is hands down the best football player in the league. Player, not just quarterback, the best player in the league. I mean, he's super athletic. He throws the ball on a rope, 85 yards. He's a great guy. He's accurate. I think now we'll see a coach that's really got his best interest at hand. And I think they were still. I think his last coach, although he was a great coach. I think what he had, that old idea, like stay in the pocket and don't run, but we know when Lamar runs, all his numbers that skyrocket. So, I mean, let him be who he is, and this is going to be a great year, man. We might see a chip in Baltimore.
You might.
Maybe it might be.
You might. Jesse Minter, new head coach, he gets him to come in. Harbaugh doesn't get him to come for all those years. What's your take from that? Because it seems like there's writing on the wall for me.
I mean, it could have been that Harbaugh was like, it's unimportant, trained in Florida, whatever. I mean, like every head coach has different expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like Harbaugh might not have tripped on him not being there. Maybe this dude is insisting that he be there. For team reasons, just to get to know each other better and all that. But I mean, we don't know how that really works. But it's always a good sign, to have somebody come in, to be present and do all those things that you need to do, to build those kind of relationships. And they got rid of it, one of his favorite tight end targets and Likely. So they probably got, new tight end coming in, new wide receivers coming in.
Yeah.
And it's just good, to build that rapport now versus trying to find it in training camp.
Yeah, I agree with that. Plus, nobody said this, but I'm gonna say this right now. Baltimore needs a lot of help on the offensive line as they move forward. They're gonna need some help on the offensive line.
Yeah, they need a lot of help on offensive line.
Yeah, they need a lot of help.
And defensive line.
Yeah, they got Derrick Henry sitting up there, and Derrick Henry should have been a monster last season and wasn't able to do anything like that. But anyway, let me bring in White Chocolate. He's in the building. What's up, man?
White Chocolate.
What we doing, guys? How's it going?
What up?
You get the final word, bro. What's going on?
All right, I looked it up. It looks like, and I didn't realize this before, Jesse Minter was a defensive assistant from 2017 to 2020. So maybe there's a little bit of a rapport there with Lamar and him. And, he's doing him a solid by coming in to the camp and get on the same page like you guys were saying. Also, his contract is up after next season, which he'll be 30 years old. And to your guys' point, he may want to be out of there if they can't win the next couple of years. And it'll be interesting to see if he chooses free agency, if they can re-sign him to another extension. So,
which is the topic that we're going to talk about tomorrow. We got to talk about Lamar Jackson tomorrow more because I don't think he's going to be there. If things don't work out this year, I think he's gone. In my opinion, I think
if he leaves, he's going to y'all favorite division.
Yep,
he's going home.
Which is,
and he's from Pompano Beach, Florida, which is just north of Miami.
So you think he's going to Miami?
He's going to go to Miami.
Yeah, I see that too. I definitely see that too. That's why I wanted to talk about this tomorrow because they've been talking about Miami subtly. I don't know if you guys realize it. They've been talking about Miami subtly for the last 2 seasons for Lamar Jackson to end up at. So,
but didn't they just sign a quarterback to a huge contract in Miami?
What's his name?
I can't remember his name. I just saw something.
That's your answer, Howard. Hey, Howard, that's your answer right there.
Okay, I swear I just saw this.
Jay, don't put that negativity in the air like that.
Howard, that's your answer. You don't even know who they signed.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I saw that. Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
was it Malik Willis?
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
Willis, Lamar Jackson.
We got to thank Rodney Perry for joining the show today, man. Rodney, where are you at, man? And what's going on in your world, bro?
I'm at the crib right now and here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I'm about to go. Me and Angel Reese got lunch in a few minutes, and I'm looking forward welcome to the city. You know what I mean? And long and the short of it, I've been doing great, man. We touring. And we're also directing. I just directed a piece for Anthony Brown called "The Drink Tank." 6 episodes of that. I think we had Howie Bell on there, and it's a great show. So I got a chance to direct that. So we're just doing some fly stuff, Frank. Thanks for asking.
It looks like news alert. Just Spurs Victor Wembanyama is listed doubtful to play tonight, but looks like he's going to play against Portland. And it looks like they're trying to make sure he hits that because there's a game allotment that you have to hit.
65 games.
65 game allotment that you have to hit so you can win some of these awards, these off-season awards. So it looks like he's going to play. So the good news is Victor Wembanyama is going to be back in a game or 2. So congratulations and kudos to him with that. Howie Bell, what's going on in your world, bro? What's going on this weekend? How can we follow you? What's up?
What if Wembanyama comes back for this one game and gets injured, trying to get the goddamn MVP?
That would suck.
He comes in and plays the first 30 seconds, then they pull him
off.
Then he gets his game. That's it.
Okay,
that's what I do. That's what I do.
Okay, so you can get in and out. Yeah. Yep. Man, that's right. That's crazy. Howie Bizzell, man. Follow me on Instagram. HOWIEBIZZELL. Follow your brother.
Where you at this weekend?
I am in Dallas this weekend, man. This Saturday, man. I'm going to Dallas, man. Y'all, all my people in Dallas, y'all come out, hang out. I'm taking my talents to Dallas, baby. Let's rock and roll.
There it is. Damian Jones, what's going on in your world? How can we follow you?
This weekend, I'll be in Rhode Island. You can follow me at Don't Nobody Care About the Knicks. They curse.com. Go Blue.
Yo, hilarious.
Yo, Jay, talk to me.
Hey, you can follow me at JD Hayes at Fanbase, man.
All right, White Chocolate.
Real quick, Rodney, I heard you yesterday having a problem with Cooper's name. By the way, the L is not silent. Just so you know.
I'm sorry, you're right. I know. I had it's Cooper.
Follow
the poo-poo.
Follow me and Frank
Unlike
on
the
Boston,
second G.
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shooters on Facebook and YouTube.
There it is, y'all. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we got to. I've been trying to get this story about the New York Giants defensive tackle who requested a trade. We got to talk about that tomorrow.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah,
That's money. That's number money.
we gonna talk. It's definitely about money. But we also got to talk more about Lamar Jackson. We got to talk about LeBron. We got a lot of things we got to talk about tomorrow's show, and whatever else breaking news is gonna happen between now and then. The name of the show is called Box Seats.
Are we gonna talk more about my porn career?
That comes up every yeah, that comes up. The long and the short of it.
This show sponsored by Astroglide.
We're gonna talk about that, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, man. The name of the show is Box Seats. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Hey, what's your name?